She pressed record with trembling fingers, knowing it would be her final message. As the monitor flatlined, 3 newborns cried out, and the world changed forever. Lina's fingers trembled as she pressed the red record button on her old phone. Her hospital gown clung to her sweat-drenched skin, and the sterile air smelled of antiseptic and something metallic, perhaps the faint scent of blood or the fear that hovered in the room like mist. She looked into the camera, eyes hollow from pain, yet lit with a strange maternal fire. "If you're watching this, I didn't make it." Her voice cracked, not from fear of death, but from the realization that she wouldn't see their faces again. The faces of the 3 lives she had carried for 9 months. The 3 tiny heartbeats that gave her hope, even as her own body slowly collapsed. Outside the frame, the monitor beeped erratically. Doctors and nurses moved quickly. But she knew it was a matter of minutes. She inhaled deeply. "To my babies, I'm sorry I couldn't stay, but I need you to know." Her voice faded into a choked sob. 3 hours later, Lina was gone. The delivery had been complicated. A rupture. Too much blood. Too little time. The nurse, Sophie, had been by her side until the end. She had held Lina's hand, whispered words of comfort. But it wasn't enough. Tom, Lina's husband, stood in the hallway, hollow-eyed, pale. He hadn't even touched the babies. His world had fallen apart. A construction worker by trade, a quiet man by nature, he had no idea how to care for 3 newborns on his own. "I can't," he whispered to the nurse. "I can't do this without her." Sophie didn't blame him. She saw men break often, but this felt different. As the babies cried in the nursery, Tom turned and walked out of the hospital, and he never came back. The hospital tried to reach Tom for days. The authorities were called. The babies became wards of the state. 3 tiny cribs sat in a foster home, side by side, silent and still. They were healthy, beautiful, but they had no names, just numbers. Baby A, B, and C. It wasn't until 6 months later that Sophie, the nurse, remembered Lina's phone. She retrieved it from the hospital's lost and found, wiped it clean, and scrolled through until she found the final video. She watched it in the break room, tears rolling down her cheeks. "I want you to know that I loved you more than life itself," Lina said. "Your names were already chosen. Elias, Nora, and Leo. I wanted to read you stories, kiss your foreheads, and show you the stars." Sophie clutched the phone like a sacred relic, and then she made a decision that would change everything. Sophie had no children of her own. At 42, she had made peace with the idea, until now. She filed for guardianship. The system didn't make it easy. She wasn't a relative. She was single. Her income wasn't glamorous. But Sophie had one thing no one else did: the video. She showed it in court. She told them about Lina's final moments, her love, her wishes, her names. The courtroom fell silent as the judge wiped her eyes. 2 months later, Sophie brought the babies home. She painted their names above each crib. She placed Lina's picture beside their beds. She whispered to them every night, "Your mother loved you more than the stars, and I will love you just as fiercely." The twins, Elias, Nora, and Leo, grew up in a warm, book-filled home. Sophie told them stories of their mother, how she had smiled through pain, how she had whispered their names with her last breath. Every year on their birthday, they watched the video. It became a ritual. Elias always cried. Nora held Sophie's hand. Leo asked the same question every year. "Would Mom be proud of us?" And Sophie always answered the same way. She already was, from the moment she felt you kick. At age 10, Elias stood on a stage at school, holding a trophy for a writing competition. His story, a mother's last words, it was based on the video. Parents in the crowd wept. One woman approached Sophie afterward and said, "You must be so proud." "I am," she said, "but I'm not their mother." She was. That night, as the children slept, Sophie replayed Lina's video again. Lina's final words echoed in the dark. "Even if I'm not there to see you grow, I'll be watching. I'll be with you, with every sunrise, every hug, every little laugh." Sophie smiled, tears in her eyes. "You kept your promise, Lina, and I kept mine."